Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm doing the April 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Taurus. Now please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, do have a look at your natal chart and you can take a look at your readings in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars signs in regards to this month's read. So do have a look at your corresponding zodiac signs and see which title is resonating with you the most at this time. So just to let you know, I will be using a Celtic cross spread using the Waite tarot and clarifying with the intuitive. Okay, so let's get stuck in. When I was shuffling for you just now, Taurus, I felt this sense of not being able to put things in place. Like you were struggling to put things in order. I don't know if that makes sense to you, any of you, but that's just the initial feeling that I got when I was shuffling. Wow, just the first card come flying out. This is what I mean. Really just not quite getting things together. That's what I'm feeling initially. Like I think you have very good intentions in regards to a specific thing. But you haven't quite got the balance down yet, or there's something that's just not falling into place quite now. Not at this time. So we'll have a look at that when we do the reading, but that's the kind of energy I got at the moment. So we'll see. Okay. Ooh. You don't belong there. Why are you there? And okay. All right. So let's begin. In regards to your present circumstances, you have the Nine of Cups, okay? So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So I feel like right now you're feeling pretty good actually. Like generally overall in your life, you're feeling quite content. I think you feel like, you've got things more or less in order, but we'll look at that when we clarify. You're feeling pretty good. You're feeling like, you're quite fulfilled in many different ways, feeling quite emotionally balanced, maybe even feeling a little bit smug about a special connection or possibly something that you've been waiting for a long time that you've now obtained, and you're feeling really good about it because, it's been a long time coming. So generally you're feeling like, you've got it down, like you're feeling very, very positive, right? So that's good. I'm glad that that's come out for you. In regards to your challenge, you have the Three of Pentacles. So there may be something that needs looking at, like I said, that needs addressing, where you could be putting more work in. Something that's going to require more effort. Because, as I said, like I feel like generally you are pretty balanced, like you have things down, but there's something that's not quite coming together. There's something that requires your attention that you may be not concentrating on so much. Something that's going to require a bit more work from your part in order to get that where it needs to be so it can join the other 9 cups, right? So this could be the 10th cup that is currently missing, okay? So in regards to your recent past, you have the Nine of Swords, so air energy, okay? This is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this is coming out of a place where you may have felt stuck, like you couldn't move forward, that things weren't changing, and now things have changed, right? That's why you're now in the Nine of Cups energy, because whatever it is that you've been hoping for that didn't seem to be coming your way, found you. I feel like rather than pursuing it, it's something that found you. But now you're being asked to do your part, right? To put the working into whatever this is, right? So we'll look at that when we clarify. In regards to your near future, you have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So this is your energy, okay? being earth energy and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like in regards to this, you have put some work in, you have obtained a lot of information, you've obtained a lot of knowledge, right, from lessons, you've acquired a lot of skills, I feel, and now it's starting to pay off, and it will do more so in the near future, right? However, there may be something that you're looking at that you feel like, okay, maybe I should have put more work into that. Like, I've got so many of, the other areas of my life down that I feel really good about it, but there's something that I've still it's not quite where it needs to be yet. So we'll take a look at that. But I feel like generally you're going to make a lot of progress, is what I'm seeing, a lot of progress in various areas of your life, but there's just that one thing, that one area that needs a bit more work and attention. So in regards to your feelings at this time, you have the Six of Wands in reverse. So yeah, I feel like even though you've obtained, some kind of material stability, maybe you've managed to sort out your financial situation, maybe you've changed some aspect of your home life, maybe you've found a nicer place, maybe you've been promoted in a job, maybe you have more responsibilities at this time with everything that's going on currently in the world. You're being asked to step up and take more of a managerial role or a supporting role that's going to come off, that's going to bring you a pay rise or an increase in pay, or something that's going to help you go further in the career ladder. It could be anything like that. But I feel like even with that in mind, you still don't feel like, I think you're not ready to celebrate. You don't feel like you've accomplished everything. You don't feel like you're winning, essentially. You feel like there's still something that you're lacking, or there's something that you're not happy about. So you don't feel like you can celebrate these positive changes, these wins that you have, right? The things that you have accomplished. And I feel like you're in the mood to celebrate, because you still feel like there's something that's very important to you that isn't just isn't coming together right now. So in regards to what's crowning you, what's within your power to affect, you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, so more earth energy. And yeah, I feel like you're aware that, maybe you've been putting a lot of effort and time and energy into something that is not sustainable, is not, there's no longevity to it, right? So you may be calling into a question like, what is it that I've been focusing all of my energy and time on? What is it that I've been distracting myself from? What is it that needs more attention? What needs to be addressed? Maybe there's some problem solving that needs to take place at this time and you've been kind of avoiding it. Maybe there's there's a solution that needs to be found to a problem. So, that's something you'll start to look at. But either way, I feel like whatever it is, you'll get there. You'll figure out what needs to be done and where you may be, avoiding putting your focus and dealing with a certain situation by distracting yourself with various other things, right? So there may be something that does need your attention that you're kind of trying to avoid at this time. In regards to the advice, you have the Page of Swords, okay, more air energy. I feel like with this here, it's like telling you, like, listen, while it can be kind of, while this energy can be kind of draining, why not try and take a more lighthearted approach to it, right? So rather than coming in very strong and communicating things from a very, like, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, rather than, like, for example, if you have an issue that involves other people, rather than providing ultimatums and being in this, like, real stern Queen of Swords or King of Swords energy, it's like, why don't you take a little bit more of a light-hearted approach with it, something that kind of eases you into the conversation, right? So you still talk about it, you still deal with the issue, but don't come in like guns blazing or come in with this like really hard, cold energy, but just like, get into the conversation, and just discuss it with a light atmosphere rather than making it like this, really intense energy, right? Rather than bringing intense energy to the situation. It's like, why don't you just come in and just, calmly communicate, your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings, what you believe needs to happen, what actions you'd like to take, what actions you think needs to be considered, things of that nature. So having a discussion, an open discussion, rather than it being like an ultimatum, right? In regards to your external influences at this time, so this can be situations, this can be people, this can be your environment, right? So everything surrounding you at this time. You have the Nine of Swords. So I feel like, yes, this could be you or someone that you're dealing with in regards to this situation, is very, very concerned, right? They're concerned about whatever it is that's not quite coming together. It could be some aspect of a relationship. It could be something work related that you're all trying to, put pieces together and try and solve this puzzle, but you haven't been able to find it yet. So you're working really hard to try and come up with a solution. It could be whoever your boss is, or whoever is in your team is feeling like this because they're afraid that if they don't help to find a solution, they might feel the consequences, right? Particularly if it's someone that's an employee or someone you work with on that level, they could be afraid that they might lose their job as a result, or that they're going to be punished in some way. If it's in regards to a relationship, they could be afraid that your relationship might fall apart if this problem isn't solved, or you may be afraid that you might lose someone if you can't work out what it is that needs addressing. Okay, so either way, I feel like someone's very concerned about whatever this has to do with. So we'll look at that when we clarify. I feel like for some of you, it's definitely kind of orientated around your work, your career. For others of you, it's going to be in regards to, I think, a commitment. Not even dating, but like a serious relationship. Okay, so in regards to your fears at this time, you have the Four of Pentacles, right? So again, more of your energy, more earth energy. I feel like you're concerned that, you're worried about, how can I keep this together? How can I not lose what I've worked so hard to obtain, right? It's taken me time to get here. It's taken a lot of energy, a lot of work, and I'm finally here and I'm finally feeling good, and now there's a chance that something is going to slip through my fingers, right? So how can I prevent that from happening? How can I hold on to this for dear life, right? In regards to your hopes, you have the Queen of Cups, okay? So this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with a water sign, possibly not, okay? I do see a lot of swords here in this reading so far as well, so they could be an air sign. But either way, I feel like if this is your energy, you're kind of hoping that, you're hoping that you can offer something more meaningful, something that's also going to be returned, okay? So like there's this karmic flow, this really like beautiful energy of just flowing, right? Not being at odds, not being caught in this energy of worrying and, lamenting over what may be lost or what could have been if it is lost. But just things kind of flowing freely between you and this person, right? If it is a connection. I think for others, you're just hoping that, that this feeling of having it all together isn't going to be lost, okay? You're hoping that whatever it is that you're dealing with isn't going to emotionally unsettle you and derail you, because you worked so hard to get yourself where you are now. So you don't want anything to jeopardize that and bring you into the energy of focusing on loss, feeling sadness, in a deep level. So I think that's what you're hoping for, to just remain emotionally balanced regardless of the situation. And in regards to your possible outcome, you have the Three of Swords in reverse, okay? So this tells me that there is an opportunity to address whatever it is that's causing you upset, which is whatever it is that's kind of rocking the boat and making you scared that you might lose something very valuable to you, something that, you know, that means a lot to you. You know, it's not just something like on a material sense that you just want to obtain. It's something that means a great deal to you, something that you've put a lot of time and energy into. So you're just, I feel like there is an opportunity to fix it, whatever this is, you know, because like I said, generally you're doing good, Taurus, you're doing really good, but there's something that's making you unhappy, I feel like, or something's just not quite working out or coming together. And, you know, you have an opportunity to address that, and it's important you do that now, because if you don't communicate, right, from this kind of space, then there's a chance that things can go more awry. So that's really important to know, okay? So I'm going to go into the clarification now, if the cards don't go everywhere. So just bear with me a moment while I get that for you. I just want to say to everyone that has been following my readings, you know, everyone that's subscribed, thank you so much, especially those of you who checked out my shadow work reading for Taurus. Like, I can't believe how many views that got. It's insane. It has like over, I think like 4,600, maybe even more at this point. I haven't checked the last few days. I'd say the last couple of days. I haven't really looked at it, but it's insane. It's the most views I've ever got on a tarot reading video. Like, it's unbelievable. So if you are one of those people that checked it out, thank you so much. Like, it means the world to me, especially if you liked it, if you commented, if you shared it. You know, it's really, really like amazing. So thank you so much, and thank you if you are supporting my channel and if you're watching this. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's great. Thank you. I don't know what else to say other than, like, it means the world to me. So thank you. Because, you know, I know that, you know, I had a bit of a hiccup in the start of the year with everything that happened. So it kind of derailed my ability to produce videos as much as I wanted to in readings. But now I'm back on the horse. So I want to make sure that, yeah, that I'm able to keep bringing you guys these messages, because I know it's important. You know, some people need to hear. There's always people that need to hear these messages, so I want to make sure you get them so they can help you, okay? So, again, thank you. Alright. And just the last one, got a lot of cards coming out for you, Taurus. My gosh. Alright, let's get into it. So, in regards to your present circumstances, the Nine of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Hanged Man, okay? So, yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is telling me that you are trying to hold on for something for dear life, because this this victory, this joy, you know, all of this emotional fulfillment that you've obtained was hard won, okay? So you're like in this space of, I'll do whatever it takes to hang on to this for dear life, because it means so much to me. I put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources into getting to this point, right? I'm not willing to lose it all now, essentially, okay? But at the same time, it's kind of like, because of that fear, because you're clinging on to it for dear life, there is this, you know, there is a slight sense of feeling a little bit insecure, I feel. Feeling a bit like, you know, you're kind of treading on eggshells, and you're like, oh, is this going to be okay? Okay, I'll see. What about that, you know? How do I make this work? How do I make that work? That kind of energy, right? Yeah. So I feel like, you know, you're kind of feeling a bit insecure, feeling a bit concerned, because, you know, you've invested so much into this, you know, everything that you've obtained to this point. So you may be feeling a bit unsure and a bit, I don't know, I feel like you're placing all of your worth on these things, right? Like having, you know, the good job, the nice apartment, you know, a beautiful partner, you know, a clique of friends, things like that. And it's like, you know, you feel like if you don't have those things in your life anymore, if you're not making the money, if you're not got this, that, and the other, then that's kind of making you feel like worthless. And if you're not looking your best, for example, if you're sick or whatever, it's making you feel like shit, basically. But that's where you may need to assess like where you place your value on things, right? You may be slipping a little bit too much into the material, so just take a look at that, because you know that's probably what's bringing your energy down. Okay, look at things from a more positive lens. Like, okay, yes, you've worked hard, you've got to where you are, so enjoy it. Enjoy the fact there's people that care about you and that are positive in your life. You know, enjoy the fact that you are your own unique being and you've got nothing to prove to anyone, but just enjoy it and live, right? And that's it, essentially. So it's asking you to, you know, really take a look at that and try and change how you approach this, okay? Because, like I said, that's going to bring your energy down otherwise. So it's up to you, but it's up to you how you choose to look at the situation, right? So in regards to your challenge, the Three of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands and the Three of Wands, okay? So, yeah, it's like, what is it that you're trying to invest in at this time? Because it's like I said, I feel like there's something that you need to be putting more attention, time, and work into. And that may be what's kind of triggering this feeling like something's not right. You know, I'm really scared of losing something, but what is it? And, you know, I don't want to lose everything because I've worked so hard, but I'm not feeling my best right now because something is missing, something's lacking, or it's not quite right. It's not coming together. And this is the thing here, right? So you're being asked to pay attention to this aspect of your life because it needs more input from you, okay? It needs more time, investment, nurturing, essentially. And that's in regards to something that you consider to be a strong foundation, something that you feel is at the heart of all that you're doing, okay? And you're just waiting for something to come together. Like I said, you're waiting for it to just to fit, you know? You know that it's a matter of time and things take time, and, you know, you have to continue to build on this foundation, right? But you're still waiting on something to just come to you, essentially. And maybe you've been waiting in that energy for too long, and now it's time for you to take initiative, right, Taurus? So if this is in relation to your work, you know, you may be, like I said, you may be waiting on an opportunity, or you know that something's coming where you're going to be asked to step up and take more of a leadership role, or there'll be like a promotion of some sort, but you're just kind of not saying anything and you're waiting for it to come to you, which I don't think is the best move at this time. If you want this this change that's going to help you really create this solid foundation, that's going to help you to build even more, then you need to communicate. If this is in regards to a relationship, you're being asked to question whether or not a serious commitment is what you want. And if it is, you're going to have to put the work in. You can't wait for things to kind of just fall in place and come together, okay? It has to be a two-way investment, right, essentially, of your time, your energy, your love, your resources, etc. So you have to be willing to put the work in, I feel, and there may be in some way that you're kind of not at this time. It's not to say that you're not caring about it and you're not putting the work in. I feel like you are, and you do care about it a lot, that's clear. But there may be in some way that you're not, there's something in regards to your relationship that you're not focusing on, that you're not drawing attention to, you're not putting work into, because there's some fear there for some reason, but we'll look at that as we go along. In regards to your recent past, the Eight of Swords in reverse, you have the High Priestess in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse, right? So yeah, I feel like, as I said before, you were waiting, you were kind of patiently waiting for something for a long time, and then once it came, you feel like, yes, now I can move forward. And yeah, like, you know, you weren't messing around. As soon as the opportunity came your way, as soon as it came into your life, You took swift action. Like, you came from this place, like, being very self-assured, very certain. You know, there was no questioning, essentially. You were just very clear, and it was obvious to you what you wanted and how you were going to move forward. But you may not have communicated everything that needed to be said. As I said, there's definitely something that's lacking in terms of communication. So there may be something that you've been holding back on because you feel like it wasn't the right time to speak it into being or to address it, okay? So there may be something that, against your better judgment, that you've been holding off on communicating because you just wanted to you didn't want to jeopardize the opportunity in any way. So you were just waiting, right? Pretty much. That's what I feel like. Okay. So in regards to your near future, the Queen of Pentacles here, you have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this is what I'm talking about. You looking at something that you feel like you should have invested more time and energy into. You rejected something here, I feel like, or either this could be you or the other person that you're dealing with. But someone rejected a genuine offer of, you know, love, or in the work sense, something that would, you know, make you feel on top of the world. That would be the 10th cup, right? But something was communicated, right? Something was like truthfully communicated, and this prevented, you know, this thing coming into being, right? So whatever it is that you communicate is going to have a direct impact on how things progress from this point. So be very aware of that. If you say you don't want something because of fear, because you're afraid that, you know, if you take this 10th cup, it might jeopardize the 9 cups you already have, you're going to see the direct consequences of that, and you're going to regret making that choice, right? Because it's a fear-based choice. It's not based on what you actually want, it's based on fear, right? So just be aware of that, okay? Because it has very real implications on how this situation progresses, okay? So don't make a decision out of fear is what I'm saying. Have a think about it and then speak how you truly feel about it, okay? In regards to your feelings, as we're talking about feelings, the 6 of Wands in reverse here, you have the Star card, Aquarius energy, and you have the 4 of Swords in reverse, so more air. Yeah, I mean, you're afraid. You're really afraid of... I think, actually, you're not afraid of not obtaining, actually. This is going to be different for some of you, okay? For some of you, you're afraid of, like, not being able to obtain this ultimate wish, right? Whatever this dream is to you, whatever this, like, the thing that you want more than anything is to you. You're afraid you're not going to obtain it, and that's going to... you know, that's going to knock you off your feet. Like, that's going to literally make you want to curl into a ball, right? Because it's just like, you know, it means so much to you. But even in that sense, you know, even if you feel like, okay, I don't see how I'm going to get this because it's so big, it's so important to me, like, it's everything to me. How do I get this? Like, I'm scared I'm not going to be able to. It's like you have to be aware that if you want something that bad, you can't be complacent. You know, if you want it that bad, you have to actively go after it, like I was telling you, Taurus. And I feel like you're kind of resisting that, you know. You're not even got the urge to go after it. You want it, but you're not, like, getting yourself out there. You're not chasing after it, right? But you know that you can't wait, right? You have to do something about it. But for some of you, I feel like it's not even that you're afraid you can't have it. I think you're starting to realize that this is actually more real than you thought. But it scares the hell out of you, and you're having to think, like, okay, what do I do? Do I go after this, or do I just, like, or do I wait and think about it and see how it goes? And, you know, because I don't think I'm ready, right? I feel like for some of you, you're saying, holy shit, like, this could actually happen, but am I ready? I don't think I'm ready, You know, that's what you're questioning. And it's like, dude, you're ready, okay? Like, you've been asking for this for ages. This is the 10th cup. You know, go after it. What are you waiting for? You know? It's like, don't let fear dictate your actions. Go after it, okay? So, in regards to your, what's crowning you at this time, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. We have a pair here with the King and Queen. You have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And you have the Devil in reverse. So, looking at this combination here, like I said, there's something you're not wanting to look at. There's something that you're not addressing in regards to this 10th cup. Like I said, for some of you, it will be in relation to a relationship. Some of it's in regards to your work. But yeah, you're kind of fooling yourself by not taking action. You're kind of doing yourself a disservice, right? You're kind of putting your time and energy and focus onto everything but the thing you actually have to do. And it's like, you know, what are you scared of? Like, what is it that you're wanting to run away from? That's what you need to confront, whatever this represents. Okay, that's what you need to confront, because you're clearly afraid to face something head on. That's what you need to do, because this thing is your 10th cup, so you have to address it. You have to put the work into dealing with whatever it is this fear is around it, okay? Because right now, like, you know, you're not going after it in the way that you need to, okay? You're not actively, you know, seizing this opportunity. And if you don't do that, there is a chance you'll lose it. That's the reality, okay? So, you know, while you don't have to be, like I said, in this energy of being very, like, you don't have to be dramatic about it at all, right? But right now, you're not communicating anything. You're not setting the score straight, right? You're not communicating where your boundaries lie. You're not communicating what you want. So you're not communicating what these fears are. You're not communicating, you know, why this fear's come about, how it came about, why this is so important to you. All the things that you need to address, okay? You're not doing that. You're running away from. You know, essentially, you know, you're taking, like, don't take this the wrong way, Taurus. I'm not slating you at all. But you're taking, like, you know, the cowardly route rather than the courageous route, okay? But you have courage in you, you know. That's how you've got this far. You can be courageous, but right now you're choosing to, you know, just live in fear, right? I'm not overall, like I said, generally I feel like you're doing very good. But there's something specific that's very clear, that's really resonating throughout your whole reading. So this thing is that meaningful to you that it can affect your mood entirely. It can affect how you feel overall. It can affect how you look at all the things that you have obtained, right? So it's very, very important to you. So that's why it's coming up so, like, prominently, right? Because you need to address it. The other things, the 9 cups are not going to come up so much because you've already got that in the bag. You've taken care of that. You've got that under control. But the thing that you don't have under control right now, the thing that you're not addressing, that's what needs to be looked at, right? So in regards to then your advice, okay, the Page of Swords here, communicating, taking action, you know, not being fearful or even being afraid but doing it anyway, that kind of energy. You have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the World in reverse. So yeah, you can't change something unless you do something about it. It's like, if you want things to really, whatever this thing is, right? If you really want to have this new fresh start, right, in regards to this situation, if you want to take that, if you want to take the bull by the horns and actually, you know, do something about it, then you're going to see significant changes. You're going to see this, right? Like this, essentially. However, you know, the fact is, it's like, if you don't want this, whatever this new beginning, whatever this, you know, new chapter is in regards to this relationship or this work opportunity, if it's something you actually don't want, then you're gonna have to communicate it, right? That's the obvious thing, okay? Because otherwise nothing is going to change. You're not going to be able to explore which options are actually suited to you. What is your 10th cup, right? So if this is not what you want, you have to speak up, right? If it is what you want, you have to do something about it. You have to change it, because otherwise nothing will change. You will become stagnant in this space, right? And it will bring your energy down, as I said. So it's important that either way, you communicate what it is that you want, and then you do something about it, right? So in regards to your external influences at this time, the 9 of Swords, okay? You have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the King of, the Knight of Swords. This is what we want. This is what we want right here, Taurus, okay? Good is what I'm saying, right? The fact is, I feel like you are in this space right now. You are worried about something. The other person you're dealing with could also be very much in this space. But from what I'm seeing here, you don't want to walk away, right? You want to walk towards it. You don't want to be left out in the cold. You don't want this person to leave you out in the cold, right? And you don't want to leave them out in the cold, essentially. Like, you want to go forward. You want to move forward. You want to communicate. You want to take action. You want things to be on track. You want things to be good again. Not saying that things aren't good. I feel like things are very good in your life. But this thing that's not quite working out, that's bringing your energy down. So you want it to get back on track, is what I'm seeing. And if this is not you and this is the person you're dealing with, they very much want things to get on track. They don't want to lose you, right? They just want you to step up and take action, you know, do something about it. It's like, okay, if this means so much to you, show me, right? That's what I'm getting from it. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like, I'm being honest, like, Taurus, I feel like this is your energy. Like, you're the one that's being complacent. That's what I'm getting from this reading so far. It could be the other way around. It could be the other person. But from what I'm seeing, it's just more like your energy. You're the one that's kind of just waiting for things to just happen. But you have to take the initiative at this point. Otherwise, nothing's going to change for the better. Okay? Things can change, but for the worse. So just be aware of that. So a bit of tough love going on here, Taurus. I'm sorry if you don't like that sort of thing, but, you know, I'm here to tell you that's it, you know, how I see it. But anyway, in regards to your fears, the 4 of Pentacles here, clinging on to this thing, whatever it is, this opportunity, right? Clinging on to it. You're afraid to let go. But at the same time, what are you doing about it, right? But anyway, clarifying that, you have the 5 of Cups in reverse, the 3 of Swords, and the Sun card in reverse. So it could be dealing with a Leo, or there could be a Leo in the mix. Let's have a look here. Okay, so you may feel like you're competing against someone. You're afraid of losing a connection because you're afraid that there may be someone else coming to the forefront, or someone else that's still lurking in the background or trying to get their foot through the door, okay? Because this can scream a third-party situation, particularly because in your outcome you have the 3 of Swords in reverse. So if this is in regards to a connection, a serious connection, I think you're terrified that you're going to lose this person to whoever this Leo character could be. Not necessarily a Leo, though. I think you're terrified that you could lose this connection, and you won't be, you won't be with this person anymore, because someone else will intervene and win, essentially, and you will not get your 10th cup. For some of you, I think you're feeling like this, whoever you're dealing with is still dealing with some emotional baggage from the past that could involve this Leo character, and you're afraid that that's the thing that's going to come between you and your person's relationship. So that's something you'll need to discuss if that's the case. For some of you, it's a case of, if it's work-related, and that can go vice versa, by the way. This could be You know, you that's dealing with an ex from the past and you're trying to release it so you can move forward in this connection, that could be the thing that's stopping you from moving forward. So take it however it resonates. If this is work related, I feel like, you know, you are competing against someone for this opportunity and you're terrified that you are not going to obtain it, that this other person will. Because you may have been, it may have felt like you lost out on an opportunity before to this person or possibly to someone else, and you're like, no, this is not happening again. Like, I'm not allowing this to happen to again. Like, I deserve this. You know, I missed out last time, but I'm not missing out this time, right? Or it could be simply because of, you know, lost opportunities or whatever from the past. You know, you're just terrified that this particular one is not going to work out for any reason. So there is that. In regards to your hopes, you have the Queen, as I said, the Queen of Cups here, so water energy. You have, you could also be dealing with Aquarius, by the way, just putting that out there, or Virgo, just saying. So in regards to your hopes, you have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Three of Cups in the upright. Lots of threes, 333, okay? So 3 might be a very important number to you in the time of April, okay, Taurus? So if you see 333 anywhere, like, just be aware, okay? Because I've seen that come up quite prominently for you in this reading. But anyway, 3 of Cups, Page of Pentacles in reverse, right? So yeah, I think your hopes is, like I said, that you don't lose your emotional footing based on any outcome, essentially. You want things to be good. You want to celebrate. You feel like you have obtained a lot. There's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to celebrate. You want things to be good on all levels, okay? But I think, like, this is a weird thing, though. I feel like while you want things to flow, you want to be emotionally grounded, you want to feel this emotional abundance, you want to share a beautiful connection, romantic connection with someone and celebrate the love that you have for each other. I feel like at the same time, you're reluctant to give some part of yourself or give something into the connection. There's something you're afraid to give. And I think that you're afraid to fully commit to the connection if this is a romantic thing. While then you know that it's important to build a solid foundation and you want to put the work in, you're afraid to invest fully. And that's because of this fear that you have, that someone else is going to sweep this person up from underneath your, like from underneath your perception, right? Before you know they're gone. Or you're afraid that you know, this person is not healed enough to move forward with, or that you're still healing a past, you know, baggage from the past with a past person, with an ex, right? So take it however it resonates. And that could be the thing that's stopping you from offering this pentacle, the last pentacle that would really solidify your relationship. Which is sad if that's the case, but again, this is something you have to communicate with this person and address head on, okay? It's not something you can sit on. If this is in regards to your career, I feel like you're afraid to, you're afraid to get too excited and to invest too much in this opportunity because you've been disappointed before. So your hopes is that, you know, you can kind of show your interest, do what is required of you, and that you'll get the win. You don't have to invest too much of yourself from the beginning just to be told that it's not going to happen. So you're hoping that you can play it safe and you'll get the payoff. And then once you know that it's in the bag, you'll celebrate, you know, and then you can start really committing yourself fully to the project or to the opportunity, whatever it is, okay? And then finally, clarifying your outcome here, potential outcome, the Three of Swords in reverse. You have the Hermit, Virgo energy, so you could be very well dealing with a Virgo. You also have the Justice card in reverse, so Libra, possibly a Libra. So, or this could be the two energies of two different people here. But either way, I feel like, I feel like, you know, because you're afraid of what the outcome could be, because you're scared that, you know, you're going to lose, essentially, you're being asked to look within yourself. You're being asked to, like, question where this fear comes from. You're being asked to question why it's so important to you. What is it about this connection that you want to keep so badly? What is it about this person that you want so much in your life? You know, what is it that's preventing you from speaking about it openly, right? That's what you need to address. You have to go within and have a look at your deep-rooted fears surrounding love connections, because I feel like this is something that's playing out as a result of that partially, okay? So there's something I feel like that needs resolving from the past as well. I feel like as well, like because of that, maybe you were the one that was kind of unsure about because you're the one that's kind of unsure about how to proceed. You may be afraid that because you're not taking action, because you're kind of having to think about it and contemplate it, that the decision is going to be made for you and this person might up and leave, as I said. Or you may be afraid that you have no choice but to leave the situation behind, right? To spare yourself from this heartache. But that may not be the case. It depends. It all depends on what you want, Taurus. This is what it comes back to. I feel like whoever you're dealing with very much wants this, but they need to know where they stand. They need to know what you want, right? So you need to take that time to consider what it is that you want and then communicate it. If you don't feel like this is something for you, that is truly what you want, then you have to communicate and walk away. Otherwise, you're only going to be hurting yourself and them by continuing the lie. I'm not saying you're trying to lie. I just think that it's not clear anymore. As much as I feel like you are very much, you know, you've invested in this connection and it's something that means very much to you. Like, it means a lot to you. You have to consider if it is truly what you want. If it's not, you need to communicate it. If it is, you need to communicate it and then do something about it, okay? Do whatever it is that's needed. Communicate what's your concerns so the person can do something about it, so they can put your fears to rest, all right? So you can do something as a couple, right? If this is work-related, you'll need to really think about, you know, how you approach this. Like, is this something that, you know, you should be so concerned about? Is it something that's actually going to bring balance into your life? Either way, right? And that's what you need to ask yourself. Like, maybe I'm not looking at things from a balanced perspective. I need to go off and really think about it. Like, you know, is this opportunity the be all and end all? Like, is this the thing that I should be so obsessed about at this time? Maybe there's something else that's more important that needs addressing. And, you know, okay, if this is meant to be, then surely I should just not be living in fear and do something about it, and then just wait for the outcome. If it doesn't work out, it's not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna lose all that I've obtained, right? So I just need to put it in perspective. Okay, so Taurus, I hope that helped. I know this one's a bit long because there was like two very distinct scenarios that I was picking up, one work related, one love related. So yeah, thanks for, if you've watched it all the way to the end, thank you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And yeah, I'll be doing another reading for you again very soon. I'm not sure what's going to be next. I have to take a look into that. But yeah, it'll be announced soon anyway. So for now, take care, and I wish you all the best with this decision that you made. Bye.